Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss old man anger in bourbon. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool and Dirk Fins.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
What's on, Steve?
Hello.
Not much. So yeah, we're going to have a good show today. We're going to get into old man anger. Anybody who doesn't know what that is, maybe you're young, you're not familiar with old man anger. It is irrational anger. So things, along the lines of one thing that, gets me boiling is when I go to Walgreens and there's some person and they've got on their Garfield pajama bottoms and they're walking.
Oh, not the pajama pants.
Yeah, it just gets me so angry. And there's
I'm just saying, you bringing it up again. Steve.
It doesn't impact me.
You can't
in any
ever
way.
drop it.
It doesn't impact me in any way, but it makes me
scheduled
furious.
This show just so he could talk about the Garfield pajama pants.
Yeah.
I'm so angry about the fucking pajama pants. You know what, Steve? Guess who's been wearing pajama pants to the distillery every fucking day?
God, no.
Not
you,
me.
Becca.
No.
It's not me.
Okay, not you. Okay, good.
Who else could it be?
Royce?
My
Well, he wears a
lovely
swimming
husband.
suit otherwise, so I guess pajama pants versus a swimming suit is fine. Let's you get one or the other with him.
Don't say swimming suit like he's in like some like full body
Speedo.
leotard or something.
It's a swimming suit. It's a swimming suit. It's a swimming suit.
It does paint an image in your mind.
Yeah, say the swimming suit.
Swimming suit.
It's like he's got like those like the stripes across it, and it's like the fucking.
That's what we thought Gary was going to be wearing.
It's the 20s out here, and he's
We thought Gary
running
was
down.
going to wear that. Yeah, but he had on something not quite that era specific. So, yeah. Yeah, it is called a swimming suit. Check it out. Yeah, maybe that's an old man thing. I don't know.
Trunks.
No, it's a suit.
Well, you'd be angry at him because he's been wearing his sweatpants down to the distillery with his work boots
Ridiculous.
and sometimes a flannel shirt.
Oh, yeah. But what a look. What a
Oh,
look.
it's a
You
look.
can tell he's married.
I'm
Yeah,
a very lucky woman.
That's all yours, Becca.
I say that too. I go, I'm very lucky.
So, Kathy, what was your question, though? What do you want to know?
Oh, hell. What was it? Oh, okay. So, what was the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice. Yes. Does it have to be bestowed upon you, or can it be you watched something and you picked it up yourself?
Just imagine that it gets embroidered on a pillow. That's all.
Okay.
It can be from anywhere. If you want to quote the Fonz and make that your best advice, that's fine.
Well, okay.
You got to
I've got
embroider it on a pillow.
I've got one.
Okay.
I worked in the oil field for 10 years, and one of my bosses in the oil field, John, he, I don't know what was going on, but something was going on. And I think I just became a manager, or maybe just a supervisor. I'm not sure what it was. And I was talking to him about it, and he goes, "The only advice I have for you is trust absolutely no one." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Not even me. Do not even trust me." I'm like, don't even trust you? He's like, "Nope." He said, "Absolutely do not trust anyone that you work with, ever." I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't think that he was completely wrong in that, because like there are a lot of times where you maybe shouldn't have told people something and you should have just kept your fucking mouth shut a lot of times. And you should have just kept stuff to yourself. And I don't think that he was wrong. Like to a point, it was like really kind of sad almost for him saying that. Cause I was like, what the hell? Like you gotta be able to trust some people. But the longer I was in there, I was like, wow, I really can't trust these people that I thought were my friends when it came to that particular career that I was in. And it's like, you couldn't just tell people things because people were big blabbermouths, or people were just trying to always get you in trouble and trying to take your job, was pretty much what he was saying, is like, you can't tell people stuff who are trying to take your job away from you or trying to just
So
undercut
are you
your-
carrying that advice over to your current position?
No. Well, to a point. I mean, but still, like you, like in some jobs, especially if you're a manager in some places, obviously like here it's fine, but in a job where you are a manager, you really should trust no one.
Yes, you should use the CAT system. Check everything, assume nothing, trust no one. CAT,
Yeah.
C-A-T.
Because people will try, even because I found out that even people that I thought were my friends, I found out that they were actively trying to get me in trouble and get me fired. So
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was
So
me.
wow.
never be friends with your coworker.
That's me at the network. I'm the one that.
Unless you're in a distillery.
behind her back, I'm politicking to get her fired all the
Always.
time at the
Fucking Steve.
corporate meetings. So I'm like, yeah, we got to get rid of her. How can we do this?
How can I get rid of her? You could literally just fire me. So
I did think of a piece of advice that I got from my dad, and this is actual advice. I got a lot of the stuff from my dad by watching what he did. Everything that I pretty much do in my life is based off of him. But he was a policeman for 28 years. I never thought he would leave because he loved being a policeman. That's all he had interviewed because he had brought a good business sense to everything they did. And the St. Louis Police Department at that time was controlled by a board made up of local business individuals, people that were from the corporate world. He would get many job offers, and many times he went through a process and interviewed for that, but he never took it, even though it was making double to triple the salary that he was making. He loved being a policeman, and one time, 28 years into his thing, he was interviewing for another job that would ultimately be building the dome, which where the Rams would play, and then he would go from there. He would jump when that was done. He'd go to, the idea was to go to work for United Van Lines, which was the company that the CEO was from, that was the head appointed by the state for that project. And he interviewed for that, and I thought he'd never take it because I knew I'd been down this thing before, and he talked to me and he said he was going to take it. And I said, Dad, I never thought you'd do it. He's like, at some point in your career, and you need to remember this, Steve, you need to make one big move. Time it's not good, but at some point you need to make one big move that is good for you. And I always then wondered by that, when would be my big move? And I unfortunately didn't make the big move myself. I got fired from my job. I got laid off, but my big move was, what do I do now? Do I try to get another corporate job, or do I make that big move and try to make something in the world of bourbon? And that was my big move. And believe me, my dad's advice, even though he was gone by that point for years, that's what drove me to and pushed me to do what I'm doing today. So that was the best advice that I ever got from my dad. Dirk, how about you, man?
That's good
Good
advice
advice.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you,
I
buddy?
think probably the same thing. My father was bestowed a lot of the same kind of knowledge on me over my lifetime. And believe me, I needed some direction many a time. So
Right.
it came in handy quite a bit. But basically kind of one of those things where if you're going to do something, do it your best, because you never know who's watching. You know what I mean? So that works with the family, that works with the job. So that to me can be much more simple. But now having a daughter, that means more to me than ever before. It's the things that, that she picks up on that you don't even know she's paying attention to at such a young
Right.
age,
Yeah.
So I think I try to carry that into my professional life at work as a police officer, because now, we're in the microscope all the time, body cameras, cell phone cameras, all that stuff, we're watching it. So it kind of carried over. Now I always felt that way anyway. You want to do the best effort and all that, but now everybody's watching what you're doing all the time. And I think you put your best effort into all of it.
Yeah. Kathy, how about you?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Deep.
That's good advice.
it's the best advice there's been.
You wouldn't believe how many times I've used that in my life.
Can't go wrong with that. Yeah. Unless you move to Australia, then it's reverse.
We can't lie though. Everybody has that little voice when you're doing a screwdriver. Like,
oh yeah. You definitely say that. You definitely say that for sure. So there you go. All right. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? By the way, one thing that doesn't help is McNew. She doesn't know right from left, which is weird to me. How do you, as an adult?
No, I can explain this.
Okay.
McNew and I are both in dentistry. So when I am talking to a patient and I'm discussing their left side.
No. This is not. You're not going to make an excuse for her. You're not when she's at the front of the group and we say turn left on this street and she turns right. That doesn't come because she worked in dentistry for 6 months.
I believe that.
Well, that's why I don't know my left from right.
No, yeah, maybe, but not.
I tried, McNew. I tried.
Yeah, you tried. We're not going to let her get off.
At least you tried.
You tried, yeah. I fucking tried, as McNew once said. That was good advice she gave us.
That's McNew's. That's the best McNew.
That's her best advice ever.
Tried, man.
You fucking tried.
I tried.
You can fail at everything. As long as you fucking try. That's key. So yeah. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Beka this time. I don't think she started yet, so we're gonna start with her.
I am going to be drinking some Barker's Mill.
Okay.
From MB Roland.
MB Roland, yes. Okay. Decent. I would put that in the decent range. Could be enough to win.
At least I tried.
Yeah, you fucking tried.
Fucking tried.
Yeah. All right, Dirk. Are you gonna fucking try?
I'm gonna fucking try. Starlight Cigar Batch, one of the hottest things in the craft world right now. So,
nice.
Okay.
I
don't think that was as good as Beka's. Yeah, you fucking tried, but it wasn't as good as Beka's.
Those cigar ones that they do are so good.
Yeah.
They had one at the CVG airport, and that was.
Is it finished in Amberana oak? That's what they do with a lot. Yeah, that's what they do with a lot of cigar blends. It's always the Amberana because it's that big, bold, spicy. Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, it's our barrel pick right there. I love this one.
Okay. Did you see me just guess that like that? How about that?
Yeah.
That's a guy who's knowledgeable and versed in the industry in which he's domiciled in. All right. Kathy, what do you got?
I'm going to continue to honor the distillers that showed up in Key West.
Okay.
I'm going to open up a 10th Mountain.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Oh, man.
So what happens when you bring the
that was
stuff from high elevations.
The one gun salute there. That was fantastic. Yes.
That should
Good
be
thing
an
we got a
award
cop
in
here.
itself.
Yeah. That put Dirk in a defensive position. He says,
I feel bad about myself.
Yes. All right. Remus Volstead Reserve. Volstead. All right, here we go. Not as good as Kathy's.
Kathy's was pretty fucking good.
That was pretty perfect. Kathy's was, so no one's beating that.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about old man anger. What causes that? What triggers that in the world of bourbon for us? We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Scott Pinkowski loves the Bourbon Daily.
But can I have a kiss?
No. That doesn't work.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're discussing why Steve's just so mad.
How does it come down to just me? Why is it just me? This show is about all of us, and it can happen for men or women. Old man anger is just a thing. So again, it's irrational in some cases. It doesn't necessarily affect you. That's what the key to old man anger is. When you're getting pissed off about something that in reality, if you took a step back and say, how does that impact you? You have no answer for that because it really doesn't, but it still makes you mad.
Does it start at an age, or can young folk have?
I think young people can suffer from early onset old man anger.
Early onset old man
I think we're all to the point. My husband has been reminding me this past week because I went, oh God, my birthday is next month. He goes, you're going to be 35. Oh man, I'm married to an old woman. And I'm like,
So does that number bother you? Is that your old man anger that you're going to turn 35?
no, I just don't like that number.
Yeah, well, they get worse.
It's a shitty fucking number. 35? That's a
My
good
30s were so much fun. Aren't you having fun?
I'm always having fun, but I don't like the word 35.
Try 40. See when that happens.
No, actually, 30 doesn't sound. That's not a gross word.
Try 55. That's what I'm facing in 2 days. This is February 10th in 2 days.
Oh God, yeah, it's almost your birthday.
55.
So what I did when I was probably around 37 was to start telling people I was 40.
Uh-huh.
And the
Ease
purpose was
into it.
because, man, you look good for 40.
I did that when I was 27.
Yeah.
I said I was 30. I'm like, no, I'm 30. They're like, oh, wow, ooh, God damn, you look great. I'm like, I know, I do, don't I?
I know.
So now all you have to
I
do
know.
is tell people instead of you're 35, tell them you're 39. 38.
I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to start. I actually used to just tell people that I was my best friend's mom.
Okay.
And they were like, wow, you and you guys look really good. I'm like, I know, I had her young,
Yeah, that's key. That's key.
very young,
Yeah.
Oh, like the Gilmore Girls
Well,
pretty much.
of mine.
Steve, what's pissing you off today, Steve?
well, I don't. Yeah, nothing. I mean, I'm the most.
You're angry about something.
I never
you
have
wanted
old
to
man
talk
anger.
about it.
No, I want to find out what gets you guys going. What are some things that
I
get
got
you
slightly annoyed the other day.
for what? About what? Was it bourbon related?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Was I involved?
So, no.
Oh, that's good.
I went to a local store
Yeah.
to see,
Not my store.
not your store,
Correct.
to see Jackie Zykan and Nate Weingar as they were introducing their hidden barn into Missouri. And I brought in my barrel bottle from here so that they could taste it. And we could have a drink together.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one guy standing at the bar, and he was totally monopolizing their time and energy while a stack of people was building behind him. And he was wearing his little lanyard with his little Glencairn hanging in it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude. And
Guess what? Guess
he turned
what?
around and he starts talking to me and he's like, I'm a big Scotch guy. I'm like, well, then get the fuck out of the line so that I can talk to these people about some bourbon.
And I'm not kidding you about this. I know this guy because he does think he's a big deal. He does some writing for the thing. Literally 3 weeks before that encounter. Now, he was monopolizing because he's a big deal and everyone knows him in the industry and he knows everyone and he knows everything about the industry. I asked him, I said, hey, we got Jackie's Icahn coming by the shop. Would you be interested in meeting her? And he said, his answer was, who? Who's Jackie's Icahn?
Oh,
I have an important question, Steve. Do you know who this is? Because he always wears it when carrying around his neck. Is that
Yes.
just kinda like-
Yeah. He wears it on a lanyard.
that tells me a lot about what's going on with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
I know I hate him because he wears a lanyard with a lanyard.
Yeah, it gets me old man angry to see that.
right.
Because
So I squeeze. I forced my way through and I'm like, hey, Nate and Jackie, I wanted you to have a taste of this barrel shop pick that you guys did and we could have it together. And so he's like, nah, 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 nah. And so Jackie says, well, why don't I just give you the taste? He's like, no, that's for you. That's for you. And she goes, well, you're wearing the glass around your neck. Why don't you put something in it?
oh, God.
You can't
Nice,
just
not
wear a
snarky
Glencairn
way.
as jewelry. You have to be drinking out of it.
Right. One time I was way out of my element. I got invited to the exclusive bourbon club. This is all lawyers, judges, it's that sort of group. This guy is in that. And, but he's known, his big thing is he's the reporter in there. And I go to this thing. I got invited, but someone knew me and it said, hey, you should come to this. You're, for what you do in bourbon, you should come to this. So I go there. I feel totally out of my element. I'm in a Tommy Bahama shirt. These guys are in, suit jackets and, because very formal as, a lot of them had underbites, It was one of those crowds, and this guy's there. This is some lovely bourbon. The finish is incredible.
Yes. It's at least 19 years old.
You should have seen the trial I did last week.
Not
That was
old
amazing.
Scotch is peaty.
The guy had a fuck the police shirt on. I gave him I took his fine and did it about 4 times. So
Even
I'm
I
hanging
do it,
out with
I
all
look
these
like
guys.
a Muppet. When you do it, you look like a person.
So I go there and he's there as a reporter. He's wearing an ascot, and I'm like, you can't even be original because you're the bourbon reporter in the group. You're wearing an ascot. Yeah, like anybody would.
Anyone else is allowed to wear an ascot. Like,
I don't think so
for one
either.
person.
I'm pretty sure he has it trademarked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like you aren't even allowed to drink bourbon
Cease
and wear an
desist.
ascot unless
Get
you're
that
one
ascot
person.
off your neck. Yeah.
Get that thing off your fucking
Whether
neck
you like
right
that or not,
now.
whether you like
So
that
can
or
we
not,
just
whether you
say
like that
ascots?
individual or not, that's his deal. That's his brand. Don't be stealing that and be like, oh, I'm the bourbon guy, so look at me, I've got an ascot. No, don't
Just
do
be
that.
the
That's
bourbon
it.
guy that
But
wears
he's
a
not a
fucking
bourbon guy.
red
That's
hair around
French.
your neck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
He's a Scotch guy.
Yeah. I'm the Scotch guy. I'm the Scotch guy.
Totally taking all of Jackie's time.
Oh yeah.
That is that definitely is an old man anger thing to be pissed off. But actually that's not an old man anger. That's a
That might be legit
justifiable
anger.
anger.
Yeah, that's
Because it's just fucking rude.
it is.
Get out of these are people people are in line to talk to these people.
Yeah.
Just say hello, make a little bit of small talk, get a sample,
Here-
get the fuck out.
Here's an example of something that's old man anger for me that's bourbon related. Multiple photos of the same bottle unopened. I could see maybe at the store when you get it, if it's a really cool bottle and you're dreamt about getting it and you get it, fine. Okay. But not 2 weeks later, it's sitting by 2 Glens and it's like, hey, been a crazy week. Look at this. And then you take a photo.
And now it's sitting in
scroll-
snow.
Yeah, and then a month
Then
after
in
that,
some
it's the
leaves.
snow, and then there's that bottle with,
and then the flowers are blooming eventually.
that causes again. How does that impact me on a personal basis? It doesn't. My life goes on no matter they post that for, but it makes me angry.
It's when they review those bottles though, and then you
Oh,
see
yeah.
it next month and it's still unopened. You're like, you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Right,
Like,
right.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's not open.
Yeah.
Strange.
Copied that off the internet machine.
yeah. So I get that. So that's definitely an old man anger thing that comes out of the world of bourbon. Yeah. Anything for you guys? Anything that gets you going? In this
I've got
bourbon?
one that mostly comes through my DMs all the time. It was worse at the beginning, but it's getting better now with Indiana bourbon. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can't make bourbon outside of Kentucky. You You guys
Oh
remember
God.
Right?
God.
Like it happens. It used to be, I mean, it was by the hour when I first started, but now it's about monthly. You'll get somebody that like,
You understand
right.
that it's not actually bourbon then, right? It's just a whiskey. Do you understand that what you're saying is wrong? Do you know
I'm
that
like,
that's
for
wrong?
fuck's sake, people, like, are we still doing this? Like,
It
this
is just not a fucking Kentucky bourbon, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah. And we'll get, I used to go back and forth. Now I just like, yeah, my bad, man. Sorry about that.
Right.
It's not worth my time. But inside, I'm on fire. I'm like, there's no way
Well,
you can't.
I can guarantee you're going to get one now from a guy by the name of Tim Swyatt. Will be. Why is it Indiana bourbon?
Did you know that you can't actually make bourbon outside of Kentucky?
Yeah, he calls us on a weekly basis looking for Blanton's and Weller. And,
Yeah.
If he can get under your skin, that's what he lives for. So I'm sure
He's also listening to every podcast for any of us to accidentally flatulate in the background.
Yeah, you can't make any sort of weird movements around here.
Give him one before we're done here.
Yeah.
And cannot pop a bottle for the life of him.
Oh no.
No,
it's terrible.
it's the worst.
It's a
It's
joke.
actually very sad.
Yeah.
Old man anger, things that fucking piss me off. Let's see here. I did just have one in my brain and then it left because old man things, you know?
Oh yeah.
They're gone. They just
They're gone, yeah.
disappear.
Thank you.
It only gets worse. It only gets
People
worse.
not understanding anything when it comes to bourbon. That really fucking pisses me off, especially when you are telling them something. It really pisses me off when someone walks into a distillery and they talk to you and you work there and maybe you're fucking married to the owner for one.
This is a scenario
And
we
you
can all
try to
relate
tell
to.
people stuff and they go, no, that's not true. And I'm like, no, I'm almost positive it is true. And they're like, no, because I went to another distillery and they told me this. And I go, okay, that's fair enough. And so then I explain it to them and they go, no.
I'm going to believe the other.
And I'm like, no, what? You're just a fucking idiot at this point. Like, these people maybe just told you one thing and they didn't even explain anything to you. I just explained something fully to you and you still won't believe it because you're too stupid. And
So this is the nice thing about old man anger. Do you deny them samples? Because an old man would. An old man would tell them to get the hell out of their distillery. I don't want you in here anymore.
It depends. My favorite thing to do when I'm pissed off at people, well, actually, the best thing that happens to me when I'm pissed off to people is Papa is down there. And Papa might be an old man, but he is and he can't barely hear, he can't barely see, but he is always watching to make sure that I'm okay. And so if he can tell that I'm fucking pissed the fuck off at someone, he swoops in and just takes those people away from me and talks to them so that I don't have to anymore.
Aw.
He is
How nice is that?
He is fantastic at doing that. And he's done it more than once when I'm just like, well, that's actually not how it works. And Papa was like, hey, South Carolina whiskey, the green whiskey. And they're like, what? And so then he just like pulls them away and they're like, what does he say? What?
Yeah.
And they just go away. And I'm like,
Speaks his own
fantastic.
Papa language. Yeah.
Fantastic. Get that fucking idiot away from me. And Papa will just, and I don't have to look at him. I don't have to say anything. He just swoops on in. He can just tell when I'm about to pop my fucking cork. And he just swoops in and I don't have to deal with these people anymore. I'm getting sweaty talking about it. It pisses me off.
The times you hear, well, I saw on Facebook that that's not true.
Oh,
That's gotta be a thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
I can't
Facebook.
imagine.
So your bourbon is actually not bourbon then. Why is it not bourbon? Well, you told me it's 28 months old. It has to be 2 years old. It is 2 years old.
Right.
It is 2 years old, but that doesn't matter because it would still be bourbon regardless. You're a
Right.
fucking moron. But I'm not mad about that at all.
No, you're not getting
Becca
angry at
has
all.
no old man anger yet.
Oh,
I have
Becca's
so much
there.
old man anger. I'm
Becca's
just
there.
an old man.
She has full blown old man anger.
Yeah,
So she's
poor
not even
Royce.
early onset anymore. It's just she's got it. She has it.
Royce is just married to an old man.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's only
Early
gonna be worse.
onset.
Yeah.
Old man anger.
Oh, old man anger.
You got Yuma.
Yuma. So there you go. There's a little bit old. We had some old man anger. We had just a lot of chat.
I'm really surprised at how little old man
has
anger
more
Steve
stuff.
had.
I know that Steve is holding some stuff in right now.
No, what do you mean? Everything angers me.
You're so mad about everything all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you can get into the whole thing. Dirk brought up Facebook. Facebook just causes me so much anger. I can't wait to the day where I can just sign off for good and not be involved in any of that stuff. But I have to, as a business owner, be involved. But yeah, just the stupid people, things people say just to get, not even just to have conversations. They just want to get in fights. I don't understand. You know, why
do people just want to fucking fight?
I don't know. I don't know why they just want to fight on social
media.
media.
I mean, I like to fight as well, but at least I like to fight about something that, like, I don't know, is a real thing.
Right.
I feel
not
like
something made up.
I feel like humans need a natural predator because there's just too many of us.
No. I think that would be good. I think that, so they're bringing back the woolly mammoth. They should bring back the saber-tooth
Velociraptors. Velociraptors.
I was going to go saber-tooth tiger, velociraptor. Fantastic.
Saber-tooth tiger. That'd be awesome.
Humans need velociraptors. We need a natural predator.
It would keep people a little bit more humble if, like, any second they're about to get their brains ripped out of their fucking skull.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say, I'm the first one to go down. Like, if I'm in the grocery store and the velociraptor comes, I'm just going to be like, yeah, well, this is it.
This is
it. Guess I'm bait.
You wouldn't fight this, Kathy? You just get picked up and.
Oh my gosh, I'm slow.
Kathy's she's the guy in Jurassic Park that's just in the grass and just goes.
Pretty much. Yeah, no.
Would you try to push someone down that you knew was a little bit more decrepit than you? Just be like, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you're there. Yeah. All you got to. If it's a velociraptor, you only got to be able to beat one. Hustle.
You just have to be faster than the last person.
Than one person. Yeah. Just knock down someone.
Maybe. I mean, there's plenty of people in the grocery store I'd like to knock down anyway.
Yeah. I worked in a grocery store for many years. There's a lot of bad shit that goes down in the grocery store. So yeah. And just soon get rid of half of them. So yeah, there you go. We'll have grocery store tales one day. I'll tell all my grocery store stories.
Me too. I did grocery store for a long time.
Oh, there's a lot of stories there. Yeah. I worked in the 80s there though, so things were really crazy then. Yes, and I worked at a time. If you worked in the 80s, only adults. There weren't kids there. I knew someone to get that job.
Nice. I was 16. No, I was 18.
I was 16, and there was another 16-year-old bagger there. The next youngest person was 19, and then up from there. We didn't have a store filled with young people.
You know who we should ask if he has any old man bourbon anger?
Royce.
Oh yeah, he definitely suffers from it. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Here, real quick.
Royce, do you have any old man bourbon anger?
Is there anything that just pisses you off for no specific reason about bourbon? Oh, he said, yep.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any specifics that you'd like to share?
People that run their mouth and they haven't even tried the thing that they're running their mouth about.
No, that is a bad one. Yeah.
Run the mouth.
That is
Dirk said that too, though. Yeah,
I can relate to that big time.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff they've never tasted before, but they're judging it anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bitching about prices, bitching about taste, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
The price doesn't really line up to the quality. Have you had it? Well, no, but I'm
right. Exactly. You know nothing about it. You know
because
nothing
I haven't. I've had other things that were cheaper that were probably just as good, but I've never actually tried it.
Right. Yeah.
So, how do you have any fucking idea if it's any good or not, or better?
Yeah. Do you get old? Do you get old man anger? It does it for me. The people that bitch about like Pappy Van Winkle and the crazy prices and all that. But I'm telling you, they're the first one. If they'd win in a raffle, they'd be the first one to run out there and buy the goddamn thing. 100%. Or Blanton's. If they see a Blanton's. So they're such hypocrites about stuff. That gets to me for sure. Yeah. The way people are just hypocritical about that. So on that note, we could do this one forever, but on that note, we're going to wrap this one up by talking about where people can find us. Dirk, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
At Indiana Bourbon on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
And TikTok. Okay. You should feature Neely Family Distillery because they're like a mile from Indiana. It's close proximity.
I'm making the trip.
It's close proximity.
Use us with Indiana?
Yeah.
I'm in.
You can stop by and see Kat Von D. She lives like a mile and a half from Neely Family Distillery.
Across the river from us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. That'd be a good stop, right? Hey, Kat, how you doing? I'm just doing a little Indiana bourbon stuff, and then meet her. And
Her
and
best
then come over
friend
here.
comes and hangs out with us all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm in.
All right, Kathy, how about you,
I'm on Instagram at KK Cask Strength.
Miss Beka Sue?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com, the important website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Our shop is out there. Our blogs are out there. Bourbon Zeppelin, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us at the ABV Barrel Shop. We feature barrel picks. You can try before you buy, which is important. At a very minimum, sign up for our email or text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.